Morning, everyone. It's good to be here. Has everybody been to Disney? If you love your children, you'll take them every year. Anyway, so we're talking about resiliency, and I'll just tell you a little bit about myself so you know where I come from. I wasn't born the Executive Vice President of Operations Disney World. I was born on a little farm in Oklahoma. Any Oklahomans in here? One or two? Okay. And I was telling everybody we didn't even have indoor plumbing. My brother didn't know we were unhappy till we went to somebody's house that had it. And then we decided that was a pretty good deal. My mother was married 5 times. She was busy. And I've been adopted twice. I got my name Cockerell when I was 16 by husband number 4. I started numbering them so I had to have a system to keep track of what I was talking about. And he happened to have money. My mother started making better choices. And so I got to go to college, and I went to Oklahoma State University for 2 years, but forgot to go to class. So I dropped out, went in the Army in 1964. When I got out of the Army, I went to Washington, D.C. with a fellow I met in the Army, and I got a job as a banquet waiter at the Washington Hilton. That's where John Hinckley shot President Reagan back in the late 80s. And I had a good career there. I finally got in a management training program because I have 2 things going for me. I have a good attitude. When you don't have a college degree out in the civilian world, you need to have a good attitude so people give you a chance. And the second thing, I'm really disciplined. I'm very organized. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about time management this morning, how to organize yourself better, how to think about doing what you're supposed to do, keep your promises, be reliable, be credible, all those things that really matter in life. And so time management. You think about this, where you spend your time. I bet every one of you should sit and think about where you spend your time, where you don't spend it, where you should spend it, and ask yourself why you're not spending it where you should be spending it. You know, money comes and goes, time only goes, and life is short, let me tell you. My wife and I will be married in August 3rd, 50 years, and I'm doing well. Yeah. I'm doing well because she said she's going to stay. So if y'all haven't checked lately, you might want to check in with your mate and see if she's going to stay. And I've gotten better, too. She told me recently I don't aggravate her anymore. And she said, why, Lee? What happened? I said, because I decided to let it go. After I heard that song in Frozen, Let It Go. She said, why are you always humming that song, Let It Go? I said, you don't need to know why I let it go. And married a long time. We've moved 11 times in my career. My wife's father was in the Navy for 32 years. She moved 12 times with him. So she's moved 23 years, and I married a saint. And so when I think about where you spend your time, I will tell you, first thing happens is we got these. Anybody got one of these? The beginning of the end. Good way to waste time. Or use it as a tool to save time and to do right things. And it's good for everything. The one thing it's not very good for, I use it for everything except planning my day and planning what I'm going to work on today, this week, this month. And I always ask people, is anybody in here old enough to remember paper? This is paper for you young people. And learn to write things down. I do my planning in here every day. I've had this in my pocket for 35 years. I've taught time management all over the world to hundreds of thousands of people. And I can guarantee you, if you go back and think deeply about how you plan your day, how you do things, what you think about, what you don't think about, you'll get big results. And since I can't give you the whole time management course this morning, I thought, well, 15 minutes, I might as well give a short time management course. And that course is, get yourself a planner. When you wake up every day, think about yesterday first. Think about what you didn't do as well as you should have, what you could have done better, that person who reports to you that you had a conversation with and you didn't tell them the 2 hard things you should have said when you had them in there. How many of you on the way home think of things you wish you'd have done better or hadn't said or said? I mean, we all do. We're busy. I will tell you, fix yesterday right away. Go through your day mentally, what I did yesterday, because it's called reflection, and when you do it, the next time it comes up, you will do it better because your brain will say, hey, we've done this before. Let's do it right this time. Most people don't reflect. They don't think about it. They keep making the same mistakes over and over and over and over. So fix yesterday first. Second thing you do is think about the responsibilities each one of you signed up for in your life. And it's a long list. It's not just in the military, your job, and your family. And to really think about each one of those. Like, how many of you are married or have a partner? Let me tell you, think about that person first. Anything you need to do for them today, this week, this month, anything, write it down. Your children, how many people got kids? There's always something. What do I need to do for my kids this week, this year, this month? Get them into camp for next summer. Get them to the physical. Get their inoculations. Talk to them about the birds and the bees when they're 8 or 9 years old, by the way, and some of you have already missed that. You want to have your, management's about controlling events in your life, and you miss that one, let me tell you, your life will be out of control. Management's about keeping things under control. What other responsibilities you have in your life? Anybody got aging parents and grandparents you're going to have to worry about? You should be having those conversations now. Make sure you get the will signed before dementia might set in. You got to do the hard things now. Hard things. When you do the hard things, life gets easier. You all know that. When you take the easy route, life gets harder. Right? Your retirement, do you really understand it? How you're going to work on it? Make sure you have an expert look at you. I got a big introduction here a minute ago, like I did this, and it sounds like I knew what I was doing, right? I didn't have a clue what was going on half the time at Disney World, but I had people around me who were experts, and I relied on them. So I had to figure out where to spend my time. And I spent my time in only 3 areas at Disney, making sure we were hiring and bringing the right people into the organization. I was involved in all of those systems, making sure that we were training people, testing them, and enforcing the training. And last, trying to create a culture and an environment where everybody wakes up in the morning proud to be where they are and want to come to work. And a culture where everybody matters and they know they matter. You think that's important? Everybody matters and they know they matter? And the best way to make sure people know they matter, tell them. Every day, you and I and everybody in this room misses opportunities to tell people how much we appreciate them, recognize them, give them encouragement. It's the fuel that drives human performance. Appreciation, recognition, and encouragement. Get that in your plan. Think about people you should be doing that with. Neighbors, strangers, everybody. More of that, more kindness. You'll be amazed at how your life changes and gets better. What other responsibilities? Retirement, other responsibilities. Your health. How many people think your health is your responsibility? Yeah? Yeah, it is. And this will be the biggest regret you have in your whole life when you lose your health because you didn't take care of it. And number one, I guarantee you, I work out every day because my wife gave me 3 new things after I retired. She said, your new list of things to do, Lee, is to take care of yourself so you can take care of us. Then you take care of your family. And then you take care of your business. And if you got any time left over, you can help Kim Kardashian with her problems. And I think that's not solvable. So you've got to, don't spend your time in things. Some things cannot be fixed. Don't spend time there. Some people cannot be fixed. Don't spend time with them. Get away from these people. We heard that earlier, the last speaker. People you spend time with. It's a big deal. And I do strength training twice a week too. I was a trainer for 10 years, strength training, and I hate the guy. I mean, he's tough. He pushes me. Doing a chest press, and he said, we're almost done. Very slow movement. Out, 10 seconds back, and I think my brain says we're done. And he says, no, we have 2 more. Because your brain gives up. That's why you need good people around you to push you in the right direction, do the right things. And why do I do this? Not to show you my 6-pack, because I don't have one. I have a 1-pack, and I know there's a 6 under there somewhere, and it's going to spring out one day. Why do I do this? Because of bone density. I don't want to fall and break a hip. I'm in the ozone. Does anybody know what the ozone is? The obituary zone. I'm 74. Have you looked in that section of the paper yet? That's not a good place to be, 74. 71, 59, 63. No. I'm looking for the 100, 99, 103. And the other reason I work out, first, bone density. I mean, it's from women, you know that too. You've got to really pay attention to that because you break your hip, that's the beginning of the end. You talk about how important this is. And my wife and I named it, Priscilla, we named it prehab so we don't have to go to rehab. Yeah, prehab takes, you know that well, don't you, sir? Prehab and rehab. Now, you couldn't help what happened to you, but I can help what happens to me, hopefully. And so I do that and feel better, have more energy, can actually stand up here for 15 minutes. And you got to think about, are you scheduling the priorities in your life into your calendar? Schedule the priorities in your life. If something's important to you, get it in your calendar. You don't work out when you feel like it. When is that? The couch always wins. The refrigerator always wins. You've got to do things on purpose. And I would tell you all to list 3 things you do on purpose and think about them on purpose. On purpose, I take care of myself. On purpose, I take care of my family. On purpose, I take care of my business. I'm available for my clients anytime. I answer my phone. Everybody's got a phone in America and nobody answers it. Lady said, you answer your own phone? I thought I'd get your secretary. I said, I don't have a secretary. I don't want any people around me because they're unreliable. They don't show up for work. Got all these problems. She said, why do you answer? I said, because I book more business that way. Because if I don't answer, you're going to call somebody else. Manage your time. Focus on the priorities in your life. If your wife's so important, I used to tell my wife I loved her annually. I mean, you've been married a long time. You know how this slips away. And first 5 years, I told her I loved her every day. After 10, I was telling her once a week, and 15, I was telling her once a month, and then quarterly. And then I'd buy an anniversary card that says, I love you. It's already pre-printed. That's useless. Don't waste your money. Write your own words. And now, the lady told me, boy, my husband better tell me every day, I'm getting married Sunday. He loves me. I said, well, okay. I said, went home. Priscilla was standing in the kitchen. I looked at her. I said, Priscilla, I love you. She said, what's going on? What? So if you guys learn anything today, don't go back and be too nice to your people very quickly. Don't go home and tell your wife you love her today. Just take it easy, because she'll wonder what you're up to. And and if you want to test it out, call your parents or grandparents tonight, and when they answer the phone, tell them this. I just wanted to call and tell you how much I love you, how much I appreciate you, and I thank you for all the sacrifices you made for me in your life. And your mother will start crying, and your dad will say, what happened? Did you get discharged? You coming back home? Why are you calling here? You know? So think about the things you're not doing. Spend your time in the right way. Get doing the right things that are going to pay off for you. And I've done that my whole life. I get out of the Army, no college degree, and end up running Disney World 35 years later. I mean, if you went back and talked to my high school teachers, they would say that cannot be the same Lee that went to school here. Somebody must have stolen his identity, because I wrote 4 books, and I don't even know where the commas go. So I have experts. I just put the commas in and makes it, capitalize the right words and semicolons, and I don't even know what all those things mean. But I found somebody who does know, and that's how you live your life. You do what you're good at, and then you get people around you to help you what you're not good at, and you will be amazed at what you can do with your time. And I will tell you, one of the things I always tell people, do not underestimate what you can achieve in your life. Don't let anybody tell you, don't blame your mother, you grew up poor, you didn't get the college degree, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, blah, 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 blah. Don't ever let somebody talk you into something. Most of our problems are right here, up in our little brains. We talk ourselves into having insecurity. I was very insecure in my career. I was insecure. I didn't trust anybody. I was a control freak. I wanted to be involved in everything, and it hurt me the first half of my career. I mean, because people don't like to work. I was defensive. I couldn't take feedback. And I went through a time where I started to change and to get better at that. And so there's thousands of people that hate me, and there's thousands of people that love me now. So I went down that path, and I was afraid nobody was going to come to my funeral. So I started being nicer, giving people responsibility and giving them authority, giving them training, giving them the things they need to do their job. And that's what you got to think about. Are you helping people get better? I told somebody the other day that what we need are more teachers and less bosses. Teach people how to do it. And that's what you do as parents already. You spend your time doing that, and you make a difference because you do that. And you've got to think about where you spend your time and quit spending it in places that are doing absolutely nothing for you, and quit hanging out with those people that will do nothing with you but except get you into trouble, and you will have a whole better life. Now, on that settled, my wife got very sick a few years ago. She almost died. I had to take care of her for a year and a half. I'm the strongest guy in the world. Nothing bothers Lee because I'm tough, and I ended up with anxiety and depression. Had to be treated by a psychiatrist for a year and a half. And so I'll tell you that story. I went to Baghdad during the war in 2011, did 13 seminars for the troops over there on anxiety, depression, deal with it, go get help. The doctor said, you want to do talk therapy? I said, no, I want the meds. I want them right now, and I have a little glass of wine with them. And then you really feel good. But as he told me, men don't come in for help, women do. Go in and get help just like you do. I had to get somebody to put the commas in place, and I had to get somebody to help me get better. And when you got a problem, go out and find the right people to help you. You'll be great. You'll turn it around. And don't underestimate the influence you have on everybody in the world. Every day you can make it better, or you can make it worse at work, and you can make it better, or you can make it worse at home. Just walk in there. You are the chief environmentalist for your life. So I hope that works for you. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for having me. It's great. Thanks very much. Yeah.